made the transition by shooting Whiplash 2 on film and editing it on video. Everybody's back in this sequel, even El Diablo and Butcher, who died in the original.
Diablo.
Buenas noches.
It can't be. This is a dream.
Or perhaps a nightmare.
Steve King does change roles, though. He was shot by Scott Wolfson in the original, so he came back as Gabby Hayes. The change to video was made complete in 1983 with Return of the Astrakhan. Now, before you say, not again, this one is set in contemporary times. And this time the neat outfit turns brown, probably through age. Frank Smith wears the same blue amulet and the same yellow cape as the latest form of the Astrakhan.
Come on, let's put him in.
Hiya. You know, if you're gonna put them in there, then you're gonna have to lift the lid first. And I'll bet you can't do that.
Yeah.
Come on, what's the matter with you?
You try.
I will.
See? I told you.
This was the year that makeup went wild. And the boss did us all a favor by giving Chris Wilson a role in which he couldn't speak.
Ruffians again.
Yeah, and then they tied Curry to a tree, and a snake came, but he managed to get away.
And back in 1984, Cinekyd did a sci-fi film called Odyssey Through Time. But no one knows quite sure what happened to it.
Stop those vessels. And when you have to. Any suggestions?
Then I assemble a group of volunteers, and we pursue the Plundower through the black hole and straight to hell if necessary.
Actually, the effects are being completed. And they've been in that stage for 2.5 years. And the premiere date is looming closer. I can only give you a brief plot summary. I don't want to give anything away. Here it goes. Scott Randolph, after being annoyed at Mike Morris, sends John Bethard, Paula Coleman, Mark Miller, and a crew of thousands through a black hole after Mark Weaver, Tom Trudgeon, Eric Curlin, and another crew of thousands who have gone back in time to Earth, Ocean City to be exact, to rip out Jim Jolly's vital organs, as long as Jill Degenhart, Scott Wolfson, and Barb Whalen don't get to him first. Dave Trachtenberg, Randolph's son, has stowed away on John's ship along with Lee Burnett, who had just simply fallen asleep in the cockpit of a fighter after a drunken bout. Lee and Paula had had some sort of past relationship, but then what else is new? I can't say much more about it without going into any detail, so you'll just have to come to the premiere, okay? All right. The production done in 1985 has premiered already, so I can show you more of that. The Old Dark House is a mystery drama, which brings a new artsy-fartsy look to Cinekyd Productions.
All right, look. They came through that door, so they...
My God. Ronald Haynes.
It, too, won an award at the Houston International Film Festival, as did Whiplash. Why did it win? Because it's very confusing, as any good mystery should be. Scott Wackler wears a loud jacket and carries a cigar, and Lee and Paula again have some sort of relationship, as do Dave and Amy, and Eric and Barb and Tom. Confused yet?
And you did all the stunts for this?
Every one of them. All the horseback riding, the fight scenes. I even did the trick falls.
Well, you were young then.
Weren't we all?
The summer of 1986 brings us The Ancestors. Scott and Aaron become brothers because they have curly hair. Tim Bancroft gets curly hair for the show, but he isn't a brother, he's a sailor. And Jamie Gorman has straight hair, but she's a sister.
Did you have another nightmare?
Yeah. But more than that, there was someone in the room, over by the window.
It was Cinekyd member Randy Leshevsky. In 1987, Cinekyd brought us Sundown. This movie featured Tom McGill, who not only starred in the picture, but was also in charge of the post-production work. Sundown also features such Cinekyd actors as Dave Trachtenberg, Scott Wolfson, and Casey Kuhn. It was the first Cinekyd feature to be recorded in stereo and was shot in film style using many different types of lighting.
Well, Father, tonight when supper time comes, you can just get yourself up out of that chair and eat it off the floor with the rest of the pigs. Come on, Wyatt.
Just like a father. In 1988, Cinekyd once again mystified us with the production Uncle Charlie. Randy Leshevsky, a.k.a. Uncle Charlie, is left with the responsibility of caring for his nephews while his sister is ill. The role of the cab driver is played by director Robert J. Clark, Jr. There's a story behind this cameo, but it is too long and complicated to get into.
Why are we stopping here?
You see the sign? I don't mess with dogs.
1989 brings us the tale of a child superhero named Timberwolf. Martin Henley, a comic book reader, imagines himself to be... Wait, I'm not really sure if he actually is Timberwolf. In any case, Randy Leshevsky finds his calling as the evil villain Dr. Blood, along with Detective Tom McGill. This feature spawned a sequel, but we'll get into that later. In 1990, Cinekyd turned its attention to music appreciation with the production of Ludwig. The lead role was given to Casey Kuhn, a talented piano player who was named after Beethoven. His imaginary friends included Martin Henley and Pat Layton. Plus, who could forget Randy Leshevsky as the grandfather?
Stay awake now, Larry. Dinner will be ready. Just a minute.
In 1991, Spectre of Death was in production. The hero of the show was Cinekyd actor Jason Frawley, who plays a physically challenged youngster. John Simonetta plays the role of Count Alucard, or Dracula spelled backwards to avoid copyright laws, and Matt Robinson sports a goatee as a 60s hippie. Here we see John Peterson and Dave Trachtenberg interviewing Cinekyd's Jake Fogelnest about the summer of 1991.
All right, Jimmy. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah.